Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is Jon.
This is Crystal. We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom.
We share struggles, we brainstorm solutions.
And we would love to have you join us. Hi, everybody.
Welcome. Hey.
Hi. We have not been in this living room in a long time.
I know episode one was, episode one, but that was recorded a while back.
It was recorded a while back. Both of us took some space for various reasons.
Definitely. Oh, gosh. The summer was like, not a wasteland. It was like, it was a time gap. It was like everything is kind of, it was a black hole in this in the necessary.
We devolved back to primordial liquid.
To the point where I can't even talk right now. It was wild.
Okay. I had to learn how to teach again. I'm not going to lie. The first couple of weeks, I was like, wait, what do I do?
Same here. It's funny. I was texting other friends as well. And we were like, okay, is this how we're supposed to do this? Because also for us in California, that was our first year back from COVID.
Yes, it was.
As far as teaching without masks.
Yeah.
Or optional
Only
masks.
for the last couple weeks. Yeah, because masks came off in April. Yeah.
See, again,
so
black hole, time,
I know.
Time is still a flat circle.
Last year was not normal. This is the first normal year in a while. Kind of, quote. Yeah, air
first
quote.
Recovery year. Mm-hmm. First year towards normalcy.
Yes. And I haven't been doing great. So I had to take a few weeks off, had some health stuff hit. And so we are so glad to be back.
Yes. In the studio.
Yes. I'm feeling clear-headed for the first time in a long time.
This is funny also because this, other than again, that one episode, we were on the road several times, even episode 2 on the road.
Yeah.
And so, it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. It's good to see your face.
Good to deal with your sass again.
I know. We've had to do it over Marco Polo. Yeah.
So how's it going?
It's going good. Today was our kids' first day back from fall break, so we are in quarter 2. Right. We completely skipped quarter 1 this year with documenting it. Yeah. So we want to do an episode just to kind of catch up, how this year is going. I feel like even though I feel like it was a little bit of a rocky start for me as far as my teaching confidence is concerned, by the time I got about halfway through the quarter, it felt like a fresh start in a lot of ways. Some of the classes that I was really struggling with last year, even just changing their classroom teacher and mixing the kids up into new groups, it kind of hit the reset button. So some of the kids that were really exhibiting a lot of very challenging behaviors last year seem to have calmed a little bit. And I think it's the stability. I think it's they're a little more confident that we're not going anywhere, that school is going to keep rolling along, and the instruments came out of hiding again, and because I feel like I can trust them again, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so school's been a lot more fun. Good. And I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, how about you?
It's wild. This is my first year after teaching. So my last backpedal, back something. Yeah, don't go Wayne's World on me though. But it was last year.
We don't have enough sound effects on this podcast.
We can make that work though. Just sample a bunch of our mouths doing weird sound effects.
Not it.
Nose goes. But last year was my first year of kindergartners going all the way to 6th grade. And so once they got promoted, it was, I want to say it was a fresh start. It was not a fresh start, but it was definitely, okay, this is a new chapter. This is it, and everything is just different. I have now been teaching for 8 years, which is...
Congrats.
It's still wild. I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around it. I don't feel like a young teacher anymore, but I don't feel like an old teacher. And I'm in this weird space, not somewhat a liminal space almost. Mm-hmm. And so... that plus also other things I'm still trying to take care of. So also I've been entering different modalities of focusing on workshopping as well. This is my first foray into it. So everything. So that, even though that's not inside the classroom, that's still affecting my mind space. Still affecting how much time I can prep, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been a weird dance of confidence. But also, all right, but now it's open roads.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I feel like there's a huge confidence boost while everyone was struggling with COVID teaching online. Like I was actually like, oh yeah, I'm a millennial. I know this. I know what tech. And so now that we're going back into the classroom, it's again a weird mix of confidence, but also it's a weird mix of, as well as imposter syndrome is kicking back in.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's been a weird dance. Yeah.
You are the movement guy.
I am the movement guy, and I've been pushed more and more.
Show me that emotion in a round shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also like a lot, I think also this year I'm starting to shed old material. I'm starting to like really discern what do I want to teach. And see, it's not a liminal space. Not a liminal space. It's just a transitional space. It's a space of growth. And so I'm enjoying it. And yet also it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it funny how our jobs are a lot? And it seems like every time, right? It seems like every time we have a break, even a weekend, it's like I forget how much work it is. You know, it's just you. And I was trying to explain this to my husband because I had to take, I ended up taking about 5 weeks off. I had some stuff hit, needed to go to the hospital for a while. I'm fine now. But I needed some time to heal. And so he works from home. So I'm hanging around the house and just watching the pattern of his work day. And he works a lot, and he works really hard, but it's not the same. He has spurts, and then there are, times where he has some freedom to decide. And I mean, we are on, like your souls hit the ground of school, and from that moment, it's like you're performing until your butt lands in your driver's seat to go home.
So another big change, and don't worry, I'm not just doing a tangent.
That's okay.
Another big change at our school site is we finally got a new art teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, he was a general teacher for a while.
Okay.
And he's jumped in. And
welcome,
yes. Actually, it would be cool if we actually have Kevin on. He's really cool. Also,
I'm down.
A lot of great thoughts as well, but
only if we have my art teacher on too.
I'm down.
She's the love of my life.
Sorry, Bryan.
No, he knows. We call each other our work wives.
So he entered the Vapa space for the first time, and he was similar observations. Like, this is, while like as a general teacher, there's a lot of times where you can sit down, you can pace things out, work on small groups, as opposed to when you're a Vapa teacher, especially. I'd hate to be in this position because he's also at 2 school sites.
Yes.
So it's like
constantly psyching through.
But also it's the pacing. It's always, as you mentioned, it is constantly. It feels almost like you're putting on a performance. It's not that, but that's the pacing.
You've got, 40 minutes in your class?
Yeah. For when he's, the rotations that for him, it would be 45.
Okay.
Regardless. It's there.
Yeah, to cram as much of your content into the kids for the next, for him, it's every other week. And
so even more so because he can't establish rapport as well.
Right.
It's hard enough for me. Harder for him, especially for the place that he used to be in, where you saw the kids every single day.
Yeah.
It's wild stuff. Yeah, it's hard being a teacher. Is that what
it is? Hard being a teacher. It's just a different kind of hard, depending on what kind of teacher you are. Yeah, and it's important to find those ways to maintain energy level. And what I think I've had a lot of time to lay in bed and think. I can't remember the last time I really had that kind of time. It was, the universe told me to sit down. Sit down and stop doing things, Crystal. And so I did. And I was thinking about how, you and I have talked a lot about our hearts behind why we do what we do.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's where we connect as our passion, even though it manifests itself in very different ways.
Listen to episode 1 of the season.
We listen to all of it.
All of it. Seriously.
Every episode. I'm at one end of the spectrum and Jon's at the other. But I think that's one of the things that makes our friendship so special. And the reason why we love each other so much is we center on that passion. We love the kids, and it always comes back to that. But you and I both suffer some guilt whenever we have to be away, or when we feel like we're not working enough, or like, how can I take time for myself when these guys are going to suffer? And that's something that we've talked about and worked through. And I've learned that's just life. I mean, and as a woman, I've had babies, and I needed to take some time off. I had this latest episode hit, and I needed to take time to heal. And sometimes your mental health is suffering, and I've taken time off for that too. And I come back. And if I take the time off, I will be better when I come back. I will be more impactful than if I just tried to push through. And instead of just letting my body and my mind disintegrate, I take the time that I need, and then I can come back and I can be my best self.
I'm with you there. No, but just Anna.
Yeah.
It was the last week before fall break was really hard for me for different reasons. But I recognized similarly, I need to stop. Like I took 3 days off because I realized I could not, like I was breaking down to a point where I can't, it's not just that it'll be fine. I also am doing them a disservice if I stay in the classroom.
Yeah.
That they got to that point.
Right.
So, I'm full agreement. Like sometimes you just got to let go of it and come back when you're stronger.
Yeah. And the best thing for the kids is for you to be well regulated. Yeah. We've talked about that too.
Yeah, several times, especially quoting Darlene Mashakon in that one episode.
Yeah.
Like, SEL starts with you.
Yes, and I was thinking about my school counselor. She says the best intervention for an unregulated child is a regulated adult because of the sympathetic nervous system response. Like if you are calm and your heart is, going at a calm rate and your breathing is calm and your whole persona is calm, they will get there. They'll match it. But if you're not in a place where you can offer that, then it's time to step back and let the rest of the team step up.
That's the hard part.
It is the hard part.
That's the hard part. Especially when, depends on the school side or it depends on the community you're part of. But if they aren't people that step up, will that vacuum force them to come together? And it's
whether it does or not, you take the time you need is what I would say.
I agree. I also in order for the time, because eventually we will not be in the community that we teach in.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and so how can we also establish? How can we, with grace, with also intelligence, and also with how can we create a system to where when we do eventually go, that the vacuum doesn't create chaos?
Yeah.
And so I have not been in that headspace to try to plan that out, but as I'm getting this again, my 8th year teaching here, I was like, okay, I can't do everything I was doing earlier. How can I make sure that when I'm not there, that things don't fall apart? And so,
what systems can you create that run themselves? This was the best my room has looked after any sub absence ever. I have been gone for one day and come back to a room completely destroyed in the past and instruments broken. And I was not expecting to be off. This last time. Things hit pretty hard, pretty fast. And so I did not leave my room sub ready at all. I normally stash all the instruments out of sight and batten down the hatches and leave threatening notes for the sub. Don't touch the instruments.
Well, then you had a dope sub.
I did. I'll get to that later. But I didn't have that. But I think because I've taught the kids how to respect the room. And I'm so crazy that even with the wobble cushions that I let them sit on, they get stacked up like books on a bookshelf, not like pancakes. That's when they get put away. I have a row where they go. We practice putting things away nice and neat. And because I've drilled it into them, they kept it that way. And when I came back today and I reviewed my rules, they were we were ready to go. It almost felt like there was no gap, which was really amazing. And yes, I did have an amazing sub. My very good friend Joey, who I'm so grateful for, who's an incredible jazz piano player. Then he won all of their hearts.
Oh, did he? That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He played for them. He played drums and piano for them, and I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't worry when I knew he was coming. It's okay, he's got this.
He's got this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, at my school side, I've established rapport with certain people to where I can leave stuff that's musically adjacent or low level music, just as long but having someone that just knows what they're doing.
Yes,
it's so dope.
It is so nice. It's nice to not even have to write out the sub plans. It's I pointed him to the spot in the curriculum where we were, and I was just do what you want.
Yep.
Yeah. keep it, these are the concepts I'm working on, but, do your thing, man.
And this is, I don't know, I feel like this also leads to talking about systems. Like these are necessities for a system to where when you do leave, someone comes in, ensuring that we have substitutes that know how to teach our craft.
Yes.
Because there are general ed substitutes.
Yes.
And so, I don't know, places along the list with Mark's shoes, of things that we need. So.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Mark says that we all need good shoes. That's and true. I completely agree. Mm-hmm. Yes, I dropped some serious money on shoes this year.
Did you?
I did.
What kind of shoes you get?
They're called Kurus.
Okay.
This podcast is not sponsored by Kuru, but I would be okay with that.
Hit us up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome. They're great. I wear them all day. I think that the older I get, I've been teaching a while now. Yeah. The more important I realize how important it is to have systems, and it's not just for the kids; it's for my sanity. Like really, I need a clean space. I need to exist in a clean space. I need to know where things are.
Yeah.
My mind is enough of a mess. I need to know where the frame drums are, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when we're switching classes so quickly, I need to know that, I'll reach into my basket of frame drums and I will pull up one little pile and I'll find 4 nested in there. They go in sets of 4.
I think that's one of the biggest differences between being a young teacher and teacher with more years. Similar situation. Like I've been organizing my room more and more. It's like I remember I used to take the mentality of like when I was like a first year, second year. It's like no, like I only have this much time. Let's just do as much music as possible, and I'll adapt.
Yeah.
I'll move the instruments along the way. I'll place them away like after school. I was like no.
Those extra 2 minutes to clean them up properly, that saves you 15 minutes later.
And not just that, but also assuming that you can adapt and you'll adjust later on, the next class might not have that space. You might need that whatever that frame drum as you reference, like that. Maybe you might need that frame drum right where it needs to be. Otherwise, it hits the fan.
Yeah, emotionally they fall apart.
Yes,
with their attention.
Or again, if you're trying to create good systems, if that the cornerstone's missing.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes, I have an angelic second grade class who, if I needed to go through every drawer to find something, they would wait, and it'd be fine. And then I have a third grade class where they wouldn't.
I had the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. So my second class are the kids that were online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's that group, and like my third graders were the ones that music was pulled away from them because they were the ones that were doing music until March 2020. So I don't know. It's just not a cohort thing. It's clearly just the population or the kids that I have right here. But like, yeah, my second graders we're still working on them. We're still working on it. But third grade, 2 chef's kisses. Like, it is them. My third grade and fourth grade cohort beat us.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I am glad. Yeah, we have quite a mixed bag, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Our school population is very I don't know what to say. They change a lot. Like we get new kids, we lose kids. They move around a lot. So I never know who's what the personality of the class is going to be year to year. They change on me.
I'm with you there, and that's actually one of the frustrating things talking about once again systems, like creating systems. But then since we're an overflow school, we're a school with a lot of naval folk. Like kids shift around so much. Like okay, I gotta teach I could have the person next to them teach them the system we have, but if it's constantly a rotating door, how can I teach effectively with that? Or how can I create a good enough system that's the whole culture buys it in, so that it's a lot of rotating doors. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I'm going to switch a little bit.
Go for it.
I had a little bit of an epiphany this year.
Okay.
And a
hard right turn.
No, it's not. It relates. Okay, just thinking about, when you're teaching a lesson and I'm very meticulous in writing out my steps and thinking through exactly how I'm going to teach something, and I practice it. So if I have a new folk dance I'm going to teach, or if I have like a poem that I know is going to lead to a dance that then leads onto the instruments that then leads to, exploration and improvisation, I will walk through it in my living room, and I have a little glockenspiel in here, and I like physically walk through my lessons. And so I will just like go in, and I know my lesson plans. When I get in front of my kids, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to throw down. And sometimes it just crumbles, and it's like, man, I thought that I had this, really
plotted out in your brain.
Totally. It's plotted out in my brain, and I thought I brought it back to the simplest points, but the students are struggling at, the higher levels more than I expected them to. Still, I guess I expected them to make a little bit more progress last year coming back. And so I'm still realizing that with my older kids, they're really not at 5th and 6th grade level. They're just not. So I've figured out this year that whether I'm teaching them or I'm teaching a workshop with adults or I'm making a sub plan, if I ask myself the question, how would I teach this to 2nd graders? It solves almost every problem.
Is that your common denominator, 2nd grade? Then?
Yeah.
That's decent.
Yeah, I just visualize my 2nd graders and where they are. And so when it falls apart I did it today, when it falls apart in 4th grade, they can't figure it out. They can't, we were working on Tideo. And I had I had a clapping thing that went with it. It was a circle game, and they could not get it. It was just too hard. And so I was like, okay, if I were doing this with 2nd grade, where would I start? And once I did that, and I stepped it back to 2nd grade level, they got it. And then I was able to build forward from there. I did the same thing in 6th grade, too, when I was teaching them a song on the Orff instruments. We started hands together in a steady beat. And then I was able to go hands separate. Yeah. And And then when I was writing out sub plans, because I knew I would need to use our site sub when I first went out, before I knew that I'd get Joey to come in. He's great, but he's not a musician. But I knew, he knew enough that if I gave him a 2nd grade plan that would be interesting enough for the older kids, he could handle it. Okay. So that's my tip.
2nd grade.
2nd grade.
Let us know. Is that the same thing for you?
I don't know. Yeah, how would you teach? I'm curious if that works for you or anybody else, but that's been my thing.
2nd grade. I like that because I do recognize that there is a pulling back that I need to do, and I've only taught for 8 years. It's a weird part. I say I've only taught for 8 years, and yet also I have taught for 8 years.
That's not nothing.
There was this one graphic novel, I forget what it was called, but it was like this girl was in 4th grade, and she constantly jumps back. Was like, I'm only in 4th grade. I was like, I am in 4th grade after all. That's kind of like where Akiko, I think it's called. Anyways.
That's cute.
Oh yeah, great story. But I feel the same situation. I've taught for 8 years, so I have a bit of confidence, but also 2 of those years, COVID. Yeah. And so I feel like, and also the first 2 years was pre-Orff.
Well, yeah.
I know, but I guess we all, it's everyone. It's everyone.
That's everybody. No, your first couple of years is trial. I feel like the COVID years are worth 2 years at least. Each.
Oh, each? Yeah. So I've only taught for 4 years? Okay.
That's right.
There you have it.
This is your 12th year.
Oh, it's my 12th year. Okay.
No. It's your 12th year teaching. Add.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, we learned so much. Are you kidding me?
We did, but also the thing was, for me, I haven't been able to test things. And that's
okay.
Sure. The year online, obviously, it just wasn't applicable.
Okay, so you haven't been able to test your process.
That's what it is. The testing of process, the testing of growth. So when you talk about 2nd grade, it's like, well, kind of sometimes they are in 2nd grade because again, online, I had my hand behind my back, and also the first 3 quarters of last year, 7/8 really. There were so many limitations to it where I couldn't really test the waters how I wanted to. Now that we're slowly going to this fill in the analogy, this bed of normalcy, or I just going into, I was gonna say sea, then I went to seabed. I don't know.
Primordial soup. We'll go back to that. Do we have legs yet?
Sitting on 4. I don't know. That all said, it's like I've only had 8 years, and 2 of them have been gone. It's like, does this work? I'm more confident teaching than I used to be, but am I confident enough to push an envelope a certain way? Is it going to fall apart? And I haven't been able to test those waters yet, I think.
Okay. Yes. But we've learned other things that I think takes a lot longer for most people to figure out, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
No, that's not a flippant, oh, sure. Like how to get kids to actually give a care about showing up to class,
That's true.
And how to connect with them.
That's true. I feel like there's that bifurcation that we always do about like the skills versus just the personability. And I feel like you're right. I've done a decent job as far as building rapport with these kids. Actually, a pretty darn good job. But now it's like, okay, maybe it's this mentality of like, now that COVID is clearing, or whatever you want to fill in the blanks, and then like sitting in those meetings where other teachers are expected to now, all right, how are we going to slowly go back towards how we can get back to our base level?
Yeah.
My internal pressures back up. It's like, okay, how can I get back to my base level? And I don't want to lose the SEL that I've been teaching my kiddos.
Oh, no.
At all. But
no. It's also, not an either or.
It's not. And it's all integrated, and you only have 45 minutes.
And go.
And go.
I really like my boys' teachers this year, and my 5th grader has a really awesome...
Your biological boys.
Yes, my biological children has a really wonderful teacher, and he and I were chatting during open house, and he was saying, there's all this pressure on us to get the kids caught up with the learning loss from COVID, and he said, as a teacher, you just kind of have to pat yourself on the back where you can, because nobody's going to do it for you. And he was like, I realized that I got my kids to make a whole year of progress last year. And he's like, there have been years where I could only get them to make half a year of progress. I don't think I can get them to make 2 years of progress, but I can get them to make a year of progress. And so that helped me. Yeah, it's like we put so much pressure on ourselves. And yes, there is a lot of pressure coming down from on high. And we're working with human children.
Yeah.
Like you can't make a tree grow any faster than it's going to grow.
You can just shot at it.
You could. You got to water it. You got to give it the ideal conditions.
I'm thinking about this. Have you read Frog and Toad?
A long time ago.
Oh, there's this scene because like Toad's the idiot. Frog's the one who is even keel. I was like, Toad's trying to grow these seedlings, and he starts just shouting at them, "Grow!" It's like Frog's like, "No, that's not how you do it."
That's not how it works. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I remember talking about this before, I think, about how, the admin wants us to rip up our saplings and check on the roots. It's like, no, let them grow. Stop ripping up my trees. A long time ago.
Was that the last episode?
I don't think it was the last episode. It's been a while. I feel like I've said it before, though. That's what I go back to. It's like you can't make things grow any faster than they grow. You can set the ideal conditions, but
right.
I know that we were worried about the kids. I think that we shouldn't lose that. We need to care about them. We need to make sure that they're okay in every way that we can. But getting too in the weeds, to continue with the plant thing.
Grow. Or don't grow.
Right? It doesn't do anybody any favors. Again, we need to make sure that they want to be at school and that they're feeling okay about that, and then like make learning fun again.
Yeah. I'm with you there. And also to add on to that, because like for me, I really want to make sure that my kids do something art-wise afterwards. And so ensuring that where they go, not only do they have the skills, but also like they can actually go somewhere. Like the middle school across our street, their choir teacher retired about a handful of years ago. And they haven't filled that space up. And I have 40 kids in my upper grade choir wanting to go somewhere, and then I can't go anywhere. Yeah, and it's different when they're in orchestra or band, because like that's not a skill set.
You need the parents to rise up and demand it. That's the only way it happens.
I know. Well,
you have to have the parents like storm the principal's office.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, seriously.
Yeah. This is my 2 cents. Back in the Lauren days, we had some parent education nights. Lauren used to be our VAPA coordinator. She was our arts administrator. Now that's Mark's job. But when we were first, check episode 0. She's fabulous. We had like advocacy nights or education nights, and it was like, VAPA was brand new in the district, and so it was like, this is why we have art and music and what this does for your child. And so she had a whole slideshow, and she brought some county administrators down to go through the arts program and what we were doing. And the way we got them there is we had the kids do a performance. So we had them sing a couple songs. So if you do something like that, and then, especially with the older kids now, say it's up to you at this point to continue advocating for VAPA in middle and high school. We've built a very solid foundation, and we know for all of these reasons, that we've presented that it's good for them, but it's not going to happen unless you demand it.
That's definitely, I agree with you. Like, as much as we want to, early on we talked a lot about performances, and there's a beauty and there's importance to have it, but also showcase however you want to do it, performance or informance, showcasing to the others the importance and the livelihood of your arts program to other people, so that they can say, hey, these want to go somewhere.
Right.
It was really cool. I mentioned this in episode 1 of this season, about the whole toy boy thing.
Yeah.
But so we had our
teacher of the year.
Yeah.
He says with rolled eyes.
I do, because
Jonathan Seligman, teacher of the year. Woo!
So I didn't win for county. That's fine. I was nominated, and I appreciate the recognition. But what I'm bringing this up is more important. That evening was fine. It was fine. But the best part of it was that they asked my students to perform.
So at the award ceremony?
At the
award ceremony for Teacher of the Years with the counselor. The county.
Teacher of the Year for the counselors.
My brain.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, for the county, your students performed.
They asked my students to perform. We only had, it was probably 5 weeks in. So I decided, okay, you know what? I want to have my former students.
Oh.
So I had 6th graders and also former students, and we had 12 kids on stage, and it was really cool seeing one of my students. You're not supposed to have favorites. But and so she's now a senior, and she shared how she's going to MIT next year, and it was so great to see her sing alongside current 6th graders, and this is what we do.
That is cool.
This is what we do. Yeah.
Nice.
So anyways, I don't know why I brought this up.
No, I think that's great. No, it's about the kids. That's what it comes back to.
It's about the kids. Yeah.
It's about the kids. It's about, you were talking about highlighting them.
It's about the kids also. It's and ensuring that all kids have a place, again, systems. Having a system in place so that they can continue in however they want to. Even if it's not choir, doing whatever artistic field they want to do it.
Yeah, it's so easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day as a teacher in our shoes. We have a lot to do every day. Like we've been saying, we show up, we hit the ground. We do not emerge from that until the end of the school day.
Yep. And then we're wild enough to have a podcast right afterwards.
I know. Well, we're nuts. But having those systems to make sure that your program runs smoothly, and then getting out of your own classroom and making sure that the wider system is going to keep supporting the kids. Yeah.
Yep.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, because this episode's kind of reflecting on how we're doing, whatnot. What do you want from this year? Now that we're a quarter in.
Okay. So what I want from this year,
sorry, if I can ask, what year again is this for you?
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a number. What I want from school this year, what I want from the students this year, what I want for myself this year is I don't want this to sound saccharine, but I want there to be a lot of joyful, exuberant learning happening. Whatever that looks like, whatever level the kids are at, if they're joyfully in it with me, I will feel like this was a successful year.
I like that. For me, I think it's if the kids feel belonging. And because joy is gonna joy it's such a big word. So what facet of joy do I want? I think belonging is the kind of facet I want to strive for. And if anything else comes out of it, great. But
Yeah.
Again, I was really astonished at how many kids have jumped into my choir this year. Before COVID, that's one of the things that was cool about COVID. I don't know why or how or what, but or when or what, I'm being dumb. But
that's okay.
I remember my first year, we had our choir was 8 kiddos.
Yeah.
we had 40 for upper grade and 50 for lower grade.
That's so cool.
And so, like, there's clearly some reason they want to be there.
That's awesome.
And so, how do I instill that it's not just this vertical slice of their life, but it's not just a moment, but it's a movement. I don't know.
You've built that.
Yeah. And how do I make sure though that they aren't just there because their friends are there, but they feel like they truly do belong? I remember my behavior specialist walked in. She had to take care of some stuff, and she walks in and she said, "Oh wow, you have those kids." And like what she meant by that is like the kids that are often the ones that are shafted and
frequent flyers is what my counselor calls them.
Flyers. It was one girl. She ran for a position for student council, and she said, like, I understand how people think I'm a misfit, but I want you to vote for me because I understand what it means to be a misfit. And so that's kind of what my counselor was talking about. Like, I do have a lot of misfits. Have
you heard Brene Brown's her explanation of the difference between fitting in and belonging?
No.
I love it. So she talks about how fitting in is you change yourself to make people want you to be in a place. Belonging is they want you to be in a place and you want to be in the place with them. Right. I love that. Yeah.
And so it's twofold. I want my students to have a sense of belonging. And I want to make sure that for myself, especially after that last week, before break, that I create not just systems for the school, not just systems for this district where arts grows, but also for myself. Because I realized, okay, I've reached a point where I need to stop, and I need to, I need it not. Using the phrase "focus on myself" has connotations I don't want to stay away from, but there's truth there also, and so I do want to find a way where I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
And also,
our energy is a finite resource.
It is. And I think, as I always focus on, is time is a finite resource, but also our energy is.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, like, as we mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, like, if I can't be if I can't be my full self, then I'm doing a disservice to my students.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, like, as I lean more and more to advocacy, doing more of these workshops, like I'm running out of energy.
Yeah.
It's just I'm trying to process all that. So that's my twofold: belonging and taking care of this person of mine.
I'm proud to hear that.
Well, thank you.
Spiccato awesome. After the break.
Spiccato after the break.
I want to take a quick break and thank my husband, Bryan, who's been working behind the scenes producing these episodes every week on all of the platforms and on time. But you need to know that he is first a financial planner for Mission Trails Financial. Mission Trails Financial is a partner that seeks to guide clients in the journey to financial success. They believe that people need a financial advisor that aims to provide strategies for success. Mission Trails Financial helps people navigate investments, tax planning, and insurance. Imagine working with an advisor who isn't tied to specific brands. Mission Trails Financial has a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interests of their clients by providing independent, objective advice. Their mission is to help clients accomplish their financial goals. As Joe Vitale once said, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Do yourself a favor and set up a time to chat with Mission Trails Financial. Visit www.missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 to schedule a call. You'll be glad you did. We believe that leaning on professionals is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more information. Okay, I brought a Spiccato.
But before the Spiccato, we always got those zigzags, those ins and outs. It's been a while. Thank you so much. It's been, 4 seasons?
Yeah, this is season 4.
This is episode 71. We've crossed the sevens. And
septuagenarians.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm talking to you, not you, Crystal. Sorry, we're done with you.
Sorry. Okay.
For a hot second.
Bye.
And the thing is, it's been great following along. We've seen a lot of the comments, a lot of the people in and out, and in order for this community to grow, it would really help if you leave that 5-star review.
Yep. Pause right now. Leave it.
No, actually, pause. Stop your car wherever you are.
Yep.
Pull over if you need to.
Please.
Yeah. Stop your car.
Be safe.
And do 5 stars. Leave us a review. And also, if you leave us a review with actual text, we will read it on air. We will.
We would love that.
Also, even if you only listen to us on a podcast, you can always also jump onto YouTube and subscribe there. Subscribe, like. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. Also, something new to us. We mentioned it in a little bit of episodes prior, but we now have a Patreon.
Yes, we do.
Patreon.com/CHClassroom.
There's stuff on it.
Yeah, because as we mentioned before, systems. And the thing is, we have finite energy, and if you want to keep on having the dealio, keeping these lights on,
yep,
send $1 our way. And if you can't send $1, that's totally fine. It's free, as it always should be, but it really does help keep these lights on. So we have some really cool stuff. We have some merch options. Do. What else we got, Crystal?
We're going to be releasing exclusive lesson plans. Just for Patreon members. You'll get some Jonathan Seligman and Crystal Pridmore original composed music for your classroom. We've got all kinds of ideas. And if there's something that you would like us to offer, let us know.
There's also sections for Ask Us Anything. Ask Us Anything.
Ask Us Anything.
So it's all there. It's all there. Patreon.com/CHClassroom. Feel free to toss us $1.
See you over there.
Yeah.
I have the most random spiccato.
Do it. What do you got?
Okay. My husband and I are photographers. We have owned a photography business for 15 years. I shoot weddings and I love doing newborn sessions and stuff. And so this is a career, a parallel career that I have to music teaching. So we just ordered a wall gallery up for our house with some of our travel photography, because as much as I print beautiful photos and albums for other people, I'm kind of bad at printing my own art for my own house.
I get you there.
Yeah, so I decided to finally fix that, and I chose some of my favorite pictures from our travels and put them on the wall. But every single picture frame came with a 1-inch level. So I now have a pile of 1-inch tiny levels. And I was like, this is the most delightful
to those
toy.
Who aren't aware, what is a level?
Okay, so a level is a tool.
Is it high, low, middle? Like, what do you got here?
It's a tool, like a level that you would buy at Home Depot. And so it is bright yellow. It has lines in it, and it has a little bubble in it. And when you put it on a shelf or on anything that you want to make sure is straight, so in this case it was the picture frames on the wall, then the bubble will land right in the dead center of the level. So that's what it is. And if it's too far on either side, the bubble drifts to either side. That's what we are looking at.
Neon green. I'm sorry.
Okay, yellow, neon green, splitter, whatever.
What would you do with a level?
What would you do with a level? Yeah, I feel like I have enough of these things. I could probably give them to every kid.
Man, they feel like they want to eat this, though. Like, this looks like the fluorescence
Okay, maybe don't give them to kindergarten.
Okay. Give it 6th grade only. 6th grade only.
6th grade?
Maybe 5th. Depends on the...
Really?
Your
kids eat levels?
Dude, Tide Pods, man. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Tide Pods. You want to talk about 2nd grade is your lowest common denominator? Tide Pods.
Okay.
That's my...
Okay.
So, let's see. What would you do with a level?
What would you do with it?
How would you be... So, I'm thinking too scientific.
Play. Think like a kid.
What would you do?
My first thought was vocal exploration. I thought it would be really fun to look at your own level and go, ooh, and follow the bubble up and down.
Okay.
And then you could talk about high pitch and low pitch and maybe make one side of the room high and low. I have a giant xylophone made out of paper on my bulletin board that I use for behavior. I have a mallet on it, and I slide it from the high note to the low note if we're not doing so great.
Yeah.
So I was thinking I could just use that and point to the high notes or the low notes and have them rock their level back and forth. Okay. With that was my first ponder.
The movement is so graceful.
It's just kind of a fun fidget, right?
It's a fun fidget, yeah. And there's a winner right there. I'm more thinking about having someone being the conductor, and so as it moves up to a different one, like you have to change your body shape. How or to what? I'm not sure, but because
so this is the tempo.
Yeah. Because the only problem is I don't have a tempo. Or because it moves in
the articulation
kind of okay
legato, but it is a legato bubble.
I am thinking like more like, 'cause it doesn't, it's not sudden, it's not
right,
so it's not flick, it's not dab, it's definitely a transition between one and the other. So when they, I don't know, maybe have your dock cam so they can see it on the screen a little bigger because it's only 1 inch, but as it moves from one end to the other, they have to shift to a different position, and they move with the bubble.
I like that.
What are your thoughts?
That's a cute idea. What would you do with a level?
Mm-hmm. If you have thoughts, tweet us at CH Classroom.
Do
it.
Aren't they fun?
Do it.
Yeah, I was like, I can't throw these away.
They're like, I mean, you can, but why?
Yeah, why not? Gotta save them. So I seriously
have.
These
are so stupidly fascinating.
You can keep it. You want it? I have so many.
I have levels.
Okay. All right. Round of the week. I have a silly song of the week. So this is not a round, but it was just too dumb to pass up.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. So what is this? What am I looking at?
This is a campfire song.
Okay.
So every year we send our 6th graders to 6th grade camp, and ours are getting ready to go. And so I wanted to teach them a couple of campfire songs. And so this is sung to Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music.
I have no idea what we can do this song. Let's sing
yeah?
Let's sing
okay.
First,
So this is about Jaws. Jaws, a shark, a great big shark. Teeth, the things that kind of crunch. Bite the friendly sharks, hello. Us, his favorite juicy lunch. Blood that turns the ocean red. Chomp, that means the shark's been fed. Gulp, I guess that now we're dead. That brings us back to Jaws, 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 Jaws. A shark, a great big shark. Teeth, the things that kind of crunch. Bite the friendly sharks, hello. Us, his favorite juicy lunch. Blood that turns the ocean red. Chomp, that means the shark's been fed. Gulp, I guess that now we're dead. That brings us back to Jaws.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know how you end it.
Into Baby Shark. Baby Shark.
Do, 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 do.
So you really have to find some means of transition. But so my lower choir always warms up with the Do Re Mi just for funsies.
Yeah.
This would be a good change of pace.
Yes, especially for October, since that's when we're recording it.
Num num. Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was hysterical.
This is dumb. I love it.
It's dumb, and it's just dark enough that this is 5th grade gold.
Yeah, this could be 4th or 6th easily.
Yeah.
Even 3rd, depending on the cohort.
Maybe. I still have some scaredy cats in that class.
Fair.
Yeah, we're a little sensitive. Yeah, 4th, 5th, 6th, all over it.
Cool. Well,
yeah.
Crystal, it's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And Crystal, do you have anything you want to promote?
I mean, you can find me.
Sure.
What? You can find me in all the places. So if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm crystal.pridmore. And you can find me at crystalpridmore.com.
Awesome. You can find me at Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman on all the socials. Yes, I see that Crystal is dancing along with it on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I need to do more stuff on that TikTok, I swear. You can also find us at CH Classroom on all the socials except for YouTube, but that might change because they're doing new handle stuff.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, but at CH Classroom for everything except for YouTube, youtube.com/chaoticharmonyclassroom, and you can always email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.
Find us, talk to us. We love you.
Bye.
Bye. The Chaotic Harmony podcast is a joint project between Crystal Pridmore and Jonathan Seligman. You can find us online at chaoticharmonyclassroom.com. You can email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail and let us know what you think. Give us feedback about what you would like to hear in future episodes. We're on all the socials. Find us on facebook.com/chaoticharmonyclassroom. You can find us on Twitter at @CHClassroom, Instagram at Chaotic Harmony Classroom, and you can even find our episodes on YouTube. Chaotic Harmony is the name of our channel. Special thanks to Bryan Pridmore for his help with production and equipment. www.pridmoria.com. I know. Thank you. You're the best. You look good in stripes. Blue's your color. Okay.
Can you stop flirting on camera?
Never. If you don't gross people out, why are you even in a relationship? I kind of live for it. You're wearing a sporting shirt.
Well, yeah. Our today is Padres versus Dodgers, and so school said everyone wears stuff.
Got it.
And the thing is, though, I bought this Tatis shirt before the whole doping situation, and so got some shade thrown my way.
Oh,
like, bro,
man.
I bought this a year ago, okay? Like, I liked Tatis back then. I still do, but issues.
This one of the kindergarten special ed teachers. She has an ongoing thing with one of our custodians who's a huge Dodgers fan, and so every time he goes by dressed all in blue, she has taught her entire class to go Dodgers, boo.